How's this for a morning cup of crazy? Here's Mike Cernovich floating a new policy idea, which is the death penalty for people who break into cars and steal things out of parked cars or steal catalytic converters out of cars. Yes, you heard that right. Capital punishment. What's that?
An idea whose time has come.
It's an idea whose time has come. Well, it's an idea whose time has really come and gone. I mean, this is a few thousand years old, but it's making a comeback here, circa Mike
gone
Cernovich.
And coming back again. Everything old is new again.
Everything old is new. Let's hear Mike Cernovich from his car explain why. Explain this personal trauma that he just endured that caused him to have this light bulb moment. Death penalty for, I don't know, petty theft. Here we go.
I support the death penalty for breaking into cars and tearing off catalytic converters. And that's not clickbait. Here's why.
Oh, it is now.
We had a plumber scheduled.
It's clickbait now, my man. We're going to use this for clickbait. I can guarantee you that. We're going to clip this and get some clicks out of it. So speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
I support the death penalty for breaking into cars and tearing off catalytic converters. And that's not clickbait. Here's why. We had a plumber scheduled to come out because there's some massive flooding happening.
Right.
And we needed him to replace some pipes.
Right.
He's not able to, so we had to get a water pump to pump it out, which I was able to do. But that meant that I didn't have to go to work. But since I have a laptop job, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is I remember people like my dad were at the financial margins, could not afford to miss a day of work, right? People can't afford to miss a day of work. That creates a whole load of downstream problems. How are you going to pay your rent? How are you going to pay your mortgage? How are you going to buy your groceries?
Right.
Let's talk about the plumber. His car was broken into, dashboard was torn up. He's going to miss 2 or 3 days of work. He's self-employed. That means no money. 2 or 3 days. That means his bills get pushed back. Why? So some drug addict working for the cartels could steal? That's the choice we're making. That's the choice we're making. I used to think it was barbaric.
It's a binary choice.
Hammurabi.
Execute petty thieves or open the door to cartel chaos.
You do know they go to jail for breaking into a car. Like, that is a punishable offense. We do have laws against that. It's not like they're allowed to do it now. It's just we don't take...
I mean, in San Francisco, maybe.
Maybe in San Francisco, but he's in L.A. So, they don't take that. They just don't take it to the extreme of putting them to death for it. But, there's a lot of room between no consequence and the death penalty.
You know what's funny? These are the same exact people who will decry Sharia law.
Right. They'll defend Israel. They'll say they cut the hands off of thieves, right? In these Muslim countries. Yeah, they're barbaric. They're twisted. But he addresses that now. He says he used to think this was barbaric until his plumber couldn't show up to fix his drain.
Well, no, I mean, maybe the extremists are right. Maybe they really are going to convert the infidel.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, this is a common thing among people. It's a common psychological phenomenon across, right-wingers and some left-wingers too. You tend to have new policy ideas when problems affect you. Right? You tend to get more extreme when you're personally affected. So this guy's plumber couldn't show up to work because his car got broken into. And now all of a sudden, Hammurabi's code, as he says, doesn't seem so barbaric after all.
Working for the cartels could steal. That's the choice we're making. I used to think it was barbaric, the code of Hammurabi, and you'd read about Saudi Arabia decapitating criminals, and you would think, how barbaric. And I realize now why they do it, because you either execute criminals for property crimes, which, by the way, would end the crimes overnight because they would get the point. So we either execute them, just let people suffer. Because what happened?
They would get the point. People would stop running red lights if you gave them the death penalty for running red lights. Everybody would be super careful not to run a red light. The yellow would become the new red. You wouldn't see anybody speeding through a yellow trying to catch the red before it turns. They would just slow down and stop. So if you want to deter people from doing anything, death penalty probably works. The question is that necessary? Right.
Yeah, do it for all crimes.
Do it for all
or there was a Star Trek episode where there was a planet where
you clogged Jimmy's garbage disposal the other day. They should execute you for that. This way you won't nobody will do it.
I mean, they would have if I had told them about it.
Yeah.
Only the few thousand people who watch the show knew about it.
Well, they know now, but it's too late. They're in the air.
It's too late.
They can't turn the plane around.
Yeah, no, it's there was a Star Trek episode where they were on a planet where randomly they chose different areas where any crime was committed was the death penalty, and you never knew where that area was.
Right.
So yeah, maybe that's something we should do, like different zip codes at random. You get the death penalty for any crime.
For any crime. Yeah.
Right. So everyone's just in a constant state of fear that they might be in that zone, so they won't commit any crimes. Maybe we should pitch that to them. I was actually, because I didn't see this before the segment. I was joking around about Sharia law, and he literally brought it up.
Oh yeah, he brings it up. Of course. Yeah,
Wow.
he's very self-aware. He knows.
the crimes
Give 'em
overnight
that.
because they would get the point. So we either execute them or you just let people suffer, because what happened to me today is a minor inconvenience. Honestly, whatever. I'm not even a big deal. To
Sounds
me,
like a pretty big deal because you are floating the idea of executing the guy who caused the inconvenience. So, I mean, it sounds like it's a big deal. But I would say you're making a big deal of it if you're floating the death penalty for the guy who broke into the plumber's car. Sounds like you're not taking it as such a minor inconvenience. I would hate to know what happened when your wife cheats on you or something like that. Like when something really traumatic happens, could imagine your reaction then, because this does seem like a bit of an overreaction to me.
A little bit. See, this is part of the problem with the whole commentary space, though, and being in it. I understand some of how this happens. You see, a lot of these people, they really are just grifters. Like they really are just looking to get eyeballs. And the best way to get eyeballs, especially if you're in that kind of space in the sector of the viewership he's in, I call it barking at the moon. You get a lot of eyeballs barking at the moon. Right? You go say something really crazy and inflammatory. And people are going to watch it. Look, we're watching it. Right?
We're watching
talking about
it. It worked. Although
right?
he insists it's not clickbait, and he says that again towards the end. Let me finish.
Yeah, sure, it's not.
Yeah, sure.
in the grand scheme of things, but to the plumber, it's a big deal. The people like how I grew up, it's a big deal. To millions of people, the tens of million of people, it's a big deal. So we're making a choice, and the choice is that we're going to let everyone suffer so that people can commit crimes. And it's just a property crime. No, it isn't. It's a human rights violation because you're stealing people's ability to work. So we got to bring it back. Death penalty, no irony here, no cap. Bring it back.
Here's an idea. What if we make a few tweaks to our economic system so that missing a day or two of work isn't a life-altering event, right? What if we reoriented things to the point where people weren't 1 or 2 missed days of work away from having their life completely upended? No. Let's bring back the code of Hammurabi, which seemed barbaric at first until my plumber couldn't make it to my house. And we should kill the guy who broke into the car.
Yeah, I mean that is so batshit insane that's why I can only interpret it as he's saying it's not clickbait, but it's clickbait.
Yeah, it seems like clickbait.
He just decided to go make the craziest video he could, and hey, a lot of that audience, it's the counterpart. It's the counterpart of the people that we tend to criticize because they're more within our atmosphere. I've always said this. You get a lot of criticism. You don't talk about Republicans. The whole corporate media is designed to criticize Republicans. Why would we do it?
Yeah, why would anybody watch us do it?
Why do you need us to do that?
You can watch prettier people do it on CNN and MSNBC.
With production values that don't have this going on in the background. So yeah, but yeah, there is that counterpart to the MSNBC viewer, usually not all that bright, older people. I'm not saying they're not bright because they're older, they just happen to be older, who are gonna listen to that and go, yeah, no, they should string them up, or just fucking mindlessly going to listen to something like that and repeat that it makes good sense. It's the counterpart of the people who are, as we're going to cover later, screaming for Tucker Carlson to be, I don't know, executed for treason or whatever the fuck they want to happen to him for committing an act of journalism. there's the other side. We just don't usually address this side because the whole media is busy calling them Nazis and taking it to the other extreme. But yeah, no, I mean, who watches that and doesn't say, "Oh my God, this guy's insane"? Who are these people who would listen to that and think it makes some kind of good sense?
Please clap.